Heyo, everybody! My name is Haley Stoner, and today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of my perspective into STEM. Alrighty, everybody. So, a little bit about me. Currently, I'm a PhD student at Dartmouth College, where my research focuses in surgical robotics. Before we get into the nitty gritty with that, I'm going to back it on up and tell you guys a little bit more about my past and what inspired me to get into STEM. My inspiration for the STEM field derived from three main factors. The first being my innate ability to tackle problems involving mathematics and science with enthusiasm and ease. As a kid, I always loved running around and exploring my environment. Through the use of the scientific method, I got into loads of trouble, like discovering how to open windows as a toddler and making a house escape, and teaching my cousins how to get out of child leashes while at theme parks, which we may or may not have stayed with our families, may or may not have left our families. Who's to say? The second factor was the challenge to contrive creative solutions to an endless supply of new problems. The Rube Goldberg experiments are one side of this coin. So, say I want to eat cereal. Well, maybe I'll just use a spoon and just eat the cereal. Or I can get a robot to feed me with it. You know? Different solutions, different problems. But the third most essential factor is the ability to aid others with STEM. I want to devote my life to helping others, and the best way that I could do that was through the application of my scientific prowess. When I was a young child, I would go around looking for things to pick up and dismantle and reassemble. Legos and pillow forts were musts, but didn't always satisfy the tinkering phase. One time, my parents let me disassemble our home telephone set, along with helping change the oil and tires on our cars. In elementary school, I joined the Lego Robotics team and then swapped over to Mu Alpha Theta. Get it, guys? Math club. In high school days. I also like to play video games and compete in spurts or sports, along with taking advanced coursework and working part time at Chick-fil-A, where it was my pleasure to serve you. But why am I telling you all of this? Well, if you feel like you've had a similar past or can't satisfy the itch to tackle new scenarios or keep learning the world around you, STEM would be a great place for you. I obtained my bachelor's in mechanical engineering from the University of Florida while also minoring in electrical engineering and mathematics. Fun fact, the University of Florida was founded on the basis of an agricultural school. So, during my time in undergrad, I started a robot farm. The first robot project started with picking up doodads and gizmos off the ground in my design and manufacturing lab. It was mostly used around these parts to drop off tennis balls and bins for the doggies. Next up, we added the tailgater to the corral. This cold reptile could cook off burgers and serve drinks autonomously. Woo-wee! Was that one a tough one to herd? In our next pen, we got ourselves here a more sophisticated bot that could play air hockey autonomously. Look at that there puppy garden technique. I should replace some of the herding dogs with it. Anyway, the last one in the undergrad pastures is the mean green tricycle machine. This baby could be ridden for miles where it could charge up a cell phone with its USB ports from harvesting solar rays. Well, now, let me hang up our boots here for a second. In addition to those doggone days, I also worked for a mixed reality headset company called Magic Leap, where I ran a lab for the quality inspection along with designing parts for the calibration of the headset itself, and for the automated test system testing team at the Kennedy Space Center for SLS, so the Space Launch System, so the new manned rocket, where I programmed and helped write work procedures as well. I'm going to be providing you all with a very basic overview of what my job entails and what exactly is surgical robotics. So, the main concept in my line of work is mechatronics. Mechatronics is the combination of three main principles: electrical engineering, computer science, and mechanical engineering. Mechatronics can be applied to any project that involves all of these principles. For example, an automated thermostat, or something a little more flashy, a robotic dog, perchance? Boston Dynamics, anyone? But anyway, I am responsible for taking each of these disciplines and applying them to the medical field in the best way I know possible: robotics. So, surgical robotics is surgery conducted through the use of robots. The most common surgical robot deployed in hospitals today is the Da Vinci. It's a 6-degree freedom it offers 6 degrees of freedom movement, basically can move just like a human, and is manned by a surgical console controlled by the surgeon. A certified technician is trained to swap out the specific instruments on the robotic arms while the surgeon guides the tools inside the patient. This helps create a more sterile field, a better overall recovery times for the patient, and most importantly, higher success rates out of the surgery. My research involves bettering and improving this process. I'm a little limited right now in what I'm able to show you in my lab. So I think I'll save off on the big reveal until a later date when I get some papers out there. What are my other hobbies? Well, I am glad that you all asked. I don't know if you guys could guess it, but I have a lot of hobbies. I like to cook. Homemade pasta is the best pasta. Hike and backpack. Stream video games on Twitch. Run. Read. Lots of reading. I'm a part of a book club. Really great. Highly recommend. Fight competitively with lightsabers. Yes, I said it. Lightsabers. In an organization called TSL, the Saber Legion. Check it out. Pretty awesome. And international. Um, and play board games that are like Dungeons and Dragons. I also like to play Dungeons and Dragons, but that's a little difficult right now. And I also highly recommend Gloomhaven for those of you who are board game fans out there. Really great. You gotta get a group together to play it though. But amazing. Anyway, I definitely want to try and get involved also in a musical hobby at some point in time, but who knows when that'll happen. But basically, the takeaway from this is to make sure you have work-life balance. In school, you have assignments that can be completed within a day or two. When it comes to work, the projects you're assigned usually can take up to a year, if not longer than that. This is a common theme in all terms of work. Just try to make sure to keep work and extracurricular activities separate. That way you don't get burnt out and, you enjoy life and work more. Before we all part ways, I wanted to provide a little bit of sound advice I've learned over the years. First off, if you don't understand something, ask questions. That being said, if you haven't tried the problem first, asking questions will only lead you down more of a wild goose chase. So, my motto is try the problem first, and if you still can't get to the end goal, ask questions. Now, another piece of advice: never be afraid to answer a question with "I don't know." That is something I learned in industry. If you don't know the answer to something or know a partial answer, say, "I don't know, but I'll look into that for you and get back to you." This immediately snuffs out any confusion that could arise from misinformation in the workplace and shows that you're able to tackle a problem that you're not at all familiar with. Anyway, those are the main takeaways from my years in STEM. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope that it provided you a little bit of a sneak peek of what a future in STEM might look for you.